My name is Noel Ben Muna. I'm the Interim Vice President for STEM and Health Sciences here at Montgomery College. So it is my great honor to welcome you to this fine STEM facility, to the Catherine and Isiah Leggett Math and Science Building. Thank you for joining us today for this milestone for Montgomery College. As your host today, I will acknowledge and invite our speakers to the podium. Additionally, I will also acknowledge our many special guests with us today throughout our program. Before we proceed, I want to acknowledge Dr. Brad Stewart, the Tacoma Park Silver Spring Campus Dean. He unfortunately cannot be with us today, but he, along with so many of you and colleagues across the college, helped to make this day a reality. Now let me share a quick overview of today's activities. Under the tent, we will hear from an array of speakers and welcome Catherine and Isiah Leggett to the podium. Afterward, we will proceed to the entrance of the building to cut the ribbon and open the doors. Please stay with us for a reception and tours. Now let's begin. I am pleased to introduce Ms. Gloria Aparicio Blackwell, Chair of the Montgomery College Board of Trustees.
Wow, what a great community here. It looks like a family reunion, so we're so excited. I am honored to be here today with my colleagues from the Montgomery College Board of Trustees. Trustee Omar Lasso, Second Vice Chair, Dr. Michael Brignall, Dr. Cheryl Chapman, Marvin Dickinson, David Hill, Rob Levy, all of them here welcoming all of you to this special event. Who knew to have this beautiful building under the name of our favorite friends, the Leggetts. Yeah. Let's give them. I also wanted to welcome our former trustees, or the trustees emeritus, Marsha Smith-Sox, the Honorable Mike Knapp, and we have also here Dr. Pollard. Dr. Hoffman is also here, Kenneth Hoffman. Thank you for being here. And also want to thank the members of the MC Foundation Board. Can you stand up? The Foundation Board. Thank you. The MC Alumni Association Board of Governors, please stand up. Thank you for being here. Thank you. The Big MC Foundation Board, please. Together, the trustees and I welcome you all to this important day, marking a significant milestone in Montgomery County history, Montgomery College history, and in the history of this campus. We just last week turned 78th year institution. Like you, we have looked forward to these days with great deep of anticipation. In particularly, I have awaited this day, the day we deliver a modern math and science facilities to this campus bearing the name of Catherine and Isiah Leggett. Board members like myself were honored to take action in 2018 to name the building after the Leggetts, to recognize their philanthropy on behalf of the Montgomery College students and their shared commitment to education and education for all. And this day have arisen thanks to many of you. Thank you, Dr. Williams, and to all the faculty, staff, students that made this place possible. The important place for education and opportunity, a reality. Thank you to the many decision makers. Don't we have decision makers here? Let's give them a round of applause. And you will be named. Our partners, community leaders, neighbors, students, alumni, and our dedicated elected officials. Let's give them a round of applause. All this community made sure worked so hard to deliver this place, this building, on this campus and in this community. The Leggett building stands as a testament to our shared commitment to transformation, unlocking the potential for every student, regardless of their zip code, and providing endless possibilities. With modern classrooms and state-of-the-art labs, this space will enable more students to discover their passion and pursue a path toward family-sustaining careers and wages. Let's give them a round of applause. Our dedicated faculty and staff who have eagerly participated this day are energized and fully prepared to help students thrive. As an alumnus, I'm excited to see how the students who will study here will go on to transform our county, our state, and even the world. In 1987, I left my country, Venezuela, and I came to Montgomery County, Maryland, and I came to Tacoma Park, and I enrolled as an ESOL student. Look at that. And that opportunity, thank you. This doesn't make me special. It's just that this place gave me the opportunity to have played a key role in shaping who I am today. A contributor to this community, a resident of Montgomery County, and a proud contributor to this community. So that's the investment that you're making in many of us. So again, welcome to this perfect day. Isn't this a perfect day? We couldn't ask for more. We couldn't. Thank you to all. Thank you, Dr. Williams and Miss and Mr. Leggett, for being here today, for your support and effort and making this day a reality. It is an honor for me to welcome the president of Montgomery College, Dr. Jeremy Williams. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chair Aparicio Blackwell. Good afternoon, how's everybody? Yeah? Let's try again. Good afternoon, how is everybody? All right, it's a bit more like it. Thank you to all the members of the Board of Trustees for their long-standing support of this project and your leadership in naming the building after Catherine and Isiah Leggett. Welcome, neighbors, friends, elected officials, students, faculty, and staff, the many friends and family of Catherine and Ike Leggett. Welcome. This is, and you'll hear it multiple times, an absolutely beautiful day. We are here today because of a deep and unwavering commitment, a commitment to the power of education and the understanding that students and the residents we seek to serve need equitable access to high quality, future forward education and training opportunities. Opportunities that can change their lives and the lives of future generations. Opportunities that will help fuel the workforce and drive the economy, both in the present and the future, and ensure our students are contributing to the public good. Opportunities that will advance Montgomery County and Maryland. The Catherine and Isiah Leggett Math and Science Building represents these opportunities. It is the culmination of years of hard work and patience on the part of many individuals. There have been several partners inside and out. My energy is just blowing up the speakers. If you can't, this is how energized I am. And I've been here for 2.5 years. I can't imagine for everyone who's been here for like a couple decades. It's just like, oh my goodness. If this had a roof, it would, all right, maybe I'll tone it down a bit. But I'll try. I'm not going to make any promises. Again, there have been several partners inside and outside the college, from the county, the state, Maryland Higher Education Commission, the city of Tacoma Park, students, faculty, and staff across many divisions, architects and construction team, and our neighbors, and of course, the Leggetts. Each one of these groups is deeply committed to ensuring that students at the Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus have access to a state-of-the-art math and science building and a path toward a bright future. Instruction in a modern, fully equipped, and sustainable building has been a long-time dream for the college, and together, we have brought it to fruition. Throughout this process, the county and state remained committed to the college and delivered the $104 million for this project. Yeah, we can clap for that. The work has been, in many ways, the culmination of more than 20 years of effort to revitalize this campus. On that note, I want to take a moment to thank my predecessors who contributed so much to ensure the college worked toward this moment throughout the years. Furthermore, I want to acknowledge a special guest who has come from a distance for this event. We all know her, former Montgomery College president, Dr. Darian P. Pollard, president of Nevada State University. Dr. Pollard was instrumental in advancing this project during her decade plus at MC. In that vein, I also want to thank all the individuals who were at the college and or in the community who contributed to this outcome. Without the support of our policymakers, budget analysts, and elected officials from the State House to downtown Rockville, we would not be here today. Even our congressional delegation has championed this project. I would like to give a special welcome to our very own Montgomery County, our very own Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your commitment to community colleges and to the betterment of our society. I also want to recognize the entire Montgomery County delegation that made this important building a priority for state dollars, because they knew that Montgomery College students and the residents we seek to serve will benefit for many decades to come. Right. I'd specifically like to thank some key members of the delegation's fiscal leadership then and now, including Senators Nancy King and Craig Zucker. I know I saw. And delegates Jared Solomon, Emily Shetty, Mark Corman, and then delegate Aruna Miller, who served on the Appropriations Committee during her time. And of course, the team from this district. Senator Will Smith and delegates Janelle Wilkins, David Moon, and Laura Charkoudian can always be counted on to speak up for and advocate for their community college and the equitable opportunities needed at this campus. They know the Leggett building will help more families thrive and fuel the workforce to build a stronger Maryland. Our state needs talented workers who are eager to fill in-demand jobs and grow communities. The graduates who come from these classrooms and labs will increase innovation and bring greater imagination to industry sectors in our county and across our state. Because of your support, this STEM facility, students will be prepared for jobs that provide family-sustaining wages. With your leadership, we are continuing to open doors to the opportunity and grow the talented workforce Maryland needs. The county executive and Montgomery County Council have equally committed champions to this project. They too know, in a county as diverse as ours, that creating equitable access to educational opportunity is essential to fuel the local economy, provide access to family-sustaining wages, and ensure we have residents who are engaged in their community. Affordable, high-quality education that is also near where a person lives. and works is a major component of equitable access and unlocks the potential of all of our residents. Our county's leadership understands these realities and has been a generous partner to the college for decades. Thank you for your commitment to MC and our students for working diligently to help the college to modernize this entire campus, one of Maryland's first community college campuses. And as I conclude in a moment or two, I need to say a few words. I'm going to say a few words about the Leggetts. Catherine and Isiah, we all know them as two individuals who stand out for their public service, their commitment to this county, our state, and the overall betterment of society. Their lifelong commitment to education has left an indelible mark. The former county executive often remarks on the power of community, and I have heard him share personal stories, personal experiences about the positive impact of community. A community that cares, a community that supports, a community that wants to see a better future. He knows the struggles that many of our students face to access education and the power of help that comes just when you need it. He and Catherine have been role models to many of our students who see themselves in the Leggett's experiences and aspirationally in their many accomplishments. Montgomery College is so deeply grateful for the Leggett's philanthropic generosity and for their vision. The Leggetts understood that Maryland's future engineers, cyber technicians, scientists, and other vital STEM professionals learn best in advanced labs and versatile classrooms. They appreciated that experiential learning in spaces like a planetarium, a cybersecurity center, and a greenhouse, all within this facility, would deepen student interest and achievement. These classrooms, labs, and congregation spaces will provide an unparalleled educational experience for students as they prepare for roles in the knowledge economy. The Leggett's generosity will provide scholarships to ensure many more students can afford to attend Montgomery College and take advantage of the opportunities that lie within a building that now carries their name. Montgomery College and the generations of students and their families whose lives will be transformed by their experiences here will forever be grateful to the Leggetts. While naming the building is a testament to the personal generosity of Catherine and Ike, let us also thank Mr. Leggett for his longtime commitment to Montgomery College as a member of the County Council and as County Executive. In both roles, he was instrumental in modernizing this campus, delivering the public resources needed for this building and all new buildings here in Tacoma Park, as well as Silver Spring, and supporting all locations at Montgomery College. And before I conclude, I must express appreciation to the neighbors of Silver Spring and Tacoma Park and the city of Tacoma Park. We are grateful for your engagement and partnership to help the college deliver a state-of-the-art math and science building. Thank you for your feedback, insights, and patience throughout this process. To those faculty and staff on this campus, you have waited for this day for many, many years. Thank you for your insights, design guidance, leadership, and patience. Let me also thank the many, many college-wide faculty and staff who made this building a reality. From administrative and fiscal services to academic affairs to student affairs to advancement and community engagement, and all the members of the Tacoma Park Silver Spring Work Group, and anyone who I may have missed. Your hard work, strategic guidance, community engagement, and leadership led us to this day. And with my last few words, I'm going to focus on our why. Finally, to our purpose, our why, and you all know it, our students and the residents who we seek to serve. This magnificent place is for you, right? The educational opportunities afforded here are calling your names. This is your community. This space and the faculty and staff will help you discover your passions and unlock your potential to transform lives, enrich the community, and change the world. Again, thank you to all the many partners who made today a reality. Ike and Catherine, I look forward to opening the doors today with you because this space represents more than just bricks and mortar. It represents a gateway to opportunity, innovation, and life-changing discoveries that will uplift our community for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. We are honored to have with us the Lieutenant Governor for the state of Maryland, Aruna Miller, with us. Please come to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited to be here. And Dr. Benmuna, thank you for serving as an MC. That's a tough job, but a very important job. And to Chair Apprecio Blackwell, I too am an ESOL student. And it is so great that this country truly is the land of opportunity. So congratulations to you. And Dr. Williams, I could not agree with you more about finding your purpose, your why. I always say one of my favorite sayings is, the two most important days of your life are the day that you're born and the day you discover why. When you discover that purpose, that why in your life, suddenly the whole world opens up to you. And that's exactly what you and your team here are doing for all the students. So thank you for your extraordinary leadership. So I am so honored to be here with the woman, the man, the legends, Catherine and Isiah Leggett, right? Now, they told me I had 2.5 minutes. I got to be really quick here. I don't want to take anybody's time up, but I do want to recognize Chancellor Perman for his excellent leadership in the state of Maryland. And Senator Cardin, thank you as well for everything you've done. To all the elected officials that are here, we are so grateful for everything that you do on behalf of not just Montgomery County, but those of us in the state of Maryland. And also a quick shout out to Maryland Higher Education Commissioner, Dr. Sanjay Rai. Thank you so much. Secretary Rai, thank you. So I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone who traveled on this journey to make today possible. And as Dr. Williams said, I can still recall the time when I was a Maryland State delegate lobbying hard for getting funding for this building. And nothing brings out the salesperson in me when I know that I'm going to be getting funding for STEM education, right? Because I am a civil engineer, I am a STEM major, and I can't wait to see the possibilities that are out for the students here when it comes to STEM education, science, and math. They are endless. So I will say that back then County Executive Ike Leggett also worked with us shoulder to shoulder, tirelessly advocating funding for this new building. And it's great to see it finally come to fruition right now. So community colleges, as we all know, are gateways to dreams for non-traditional and first-generation college-bound students. They provide opportunities for those balancing work, family, finances, and education. Governor Moore, that some of you may know, has an associate's degree from a community college, and it was a key step in his journey to leadership and service. And I can't imagine two more fitting, iconic leaders to dedicate this incredible achievement to than none other than Catherine and Isiah Leggett. You are two remarkable individuals who have dedicated their lives to ensuring the success and the well-being of Montgomery County, and who have shaped the destinies of so many people in our community, including my own. Ike has been a mentor, a trusted friend, and a former boss of mine. I used to work at Montgomery County Department of Transportation when Ike was the county executive. I gotta tell you, I can finally say something that I've been holding back for years. Ike, you married way up. Okay, right? But seriously, I want to say that I would not be standing before you as your Lieutenant Governor of Maryland if it wasn't for Ike Leggett. In June of 2022, I get a call from Ike, and he starts to tell me about candidates that are running for governor. And he mentions somebody by the name of Wes Moore to me, right? And he makes this big sales pitch about him, how good he is, that he's a veteran just like Ike is, that he's a White House fellow just like Ike is. And then he starts to really, hone in. He goes, Runa, you should seriously consider running as a lieutenant governor with him. Well, at the time, I was not thinking along those lines at all. But you know what? It was Ike who planted that seed, who was the impetus for allowing me to be in this moment and on this journey. So Ike, I want to thank you for really changing my life and giving me the most profound opportunity that I've ever had in my life, and it wouldn't have happened without you. Thank you. So along with Governor Moore, I am deeply honored to share in this monumental celebration and to recognize the lifelong dedication of Catherine and Isiah Leggett to education. The new Catherine and Isiah Leggett Science and Math Building will be a place where dreams are not just imagined, but realized. So thank you so much. I could not be more proud of everything that you both have done, just like everybody here is. Thank you for being such role models for me and for the entire Montgomery County population and the state of Maryland. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Miller. As I welcome the Chancellor of the University, As I welcome the Chancellor of the University of Maryland System, Dr. J.A. Perlman, to the podium, let me acknowledge the array of higher education leaders with us today. Linda Gooden, Chair, University System of Maryland Board of Regents; Yvette Lewis, University System of Maryland Board of Regents; Bill Wood, University System of Maryland Board of Regents; Britt Kirwan, Chancellor Emeritus, University System of Maryland; Dr. Ann Kadamian, Executive Director of the Universities of Shady Grove; and Dr. Sanjay Rai, Secretary, Maryland Higher Education Commission. Dr. Perlman?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I have to start by thanking Dr. Williams and the organizers of this very special event for inviting me here to brag on my good friends, Catherine and Ike Leggett. You know, Lieutenant Governor, we have something in common. You said that Ike is mentor, friend, boss. Exactly the same for me. So let me take a few minutes of your time to reflect a little more. Why is Ike my boss? Because Ike, sharing with a number of people in this room and others, sits on the Board of Regents for the University System of Maryland. It's a system that I am privileged to lead as Chancellor. It's a system, as you know, that comprises 12 of the state's 14 public four-year universities, as well as a fine institution up the road here in Montgomery County that you know well, the universities at Shady Grove. You might have heard of it. And yes, here I am, but Montgomery College, a distinguished community college, is not a part of the system. But you know what it is? A critical partner. That's why I came. A critical partner And again, I thank you, Mr. President, for the invitation, but even more for the partnership. What makes Catherine and Ike the visionaries they are is that they realize how important a connection across higher education, and I might include K-12 as well, how important that is to the people that we have a responsibility for educating. It is a continuum. You have to grab learners early on, in preschool, in elementary school, and then you have to hold on to them for dear life, no matter what. You have to keep opening their paths to college. I didn't say everybody needs to go to college, you know that controversy, but you have to make the opportunity for those that wish to complete the higher education pathway. 2-year, 4-year regional higher education center like the universities at Shady Grove. It's a continuum. We are partners. We're all in this together. And Ike reminds me of that. Ike stands for that. Dr. Williams knows that. Dr. Kademian, who's here, our leader at the universities at Shady Grove. Dr. Taylor at Montgomery County Public Schools knows that. That's why we all partner so closely with one another to create a seamless pathway from kindergarten to college, dismantling every obstacle that gets thrown in a learner's way. Are we perfect? No. Do we need to work harder on that? Yes, but we need these partners. That's what Ike and Catherine remind us of. With their passionate and purposeful advocacy, Ike and Catherine keep reinforcing the critical connections that keep Maryland education from preschool through postdoc, the very best in the nation. And with beautiful buildings like this one, they say to us that every student deserves that kind of investment. Every student deserves to be supported on each leg of their educational journey, because every student contributes not only to Maryland's prosperity, but to its knowledge, its discovery, its humanity. It is a blessing to serve Maryland students under Regent Leggett's leadership. And more than that, it's a blessing to know Catherine and Ike Leggett as the people, as the visionaries, as the generous folks they truly are. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Perman. Now please welcome U.S. Senator Ben Cardin.
Catherine, like, you really bring a crowd out. I'm going to tell you that. I'm impressed. Well deserved. We all have our Leggett stories. So I'll just give you one. I could pick one of many. But when I was running for the United States Senate, I needed a sparring partner for debate prep. And my campaign team picked Ike Leggett. After the prep was over, I just thank God that Ike wasn't running against me for the United States Senate. But it was Catherine who got me all the support I needed in order to win that election. So the Leggetts are really special, and I just really want to start with that. And Dr. Williams, thank you very much for your hospitality to have us here. I bring you greetings from your federal partners. We all are united in helping the mission of Montgomery College. My colleagues, Senator Chris Van Hollen, Jamie Raskin, we are on your team. We're strong proponents of the community college system and strong proponents of institutions that reach out for opportunity. And Montgomery College is known, this campus is known as a campus of inclusion, a minority-serving institution. And we are your partners, and we want to do everything we can to help you as we move forward. I want to talk a little bit, if I might, about the Leggetts, because I think this is important. You got an important building, but the namesakes on this building are equally important because they stand for values. This is a special couple. We say that these are really special people. I wanted to be here to thank the Leggetts for what they have done to make my life and Myrna's life better, but to make our community stronger, our state stronger, and our nation stronger. Because you've based all of your actions on values. You both believe in education. It's the key. It's the equalizer. Professor Leggett, you have been there in the classroom, and you've put your priorities and resources to help the future generations. That's a value that we all treasure. Inclusion. Catherine, you've made your life about human resources, a professional, to make sure people are included. It's the right thing. It's what our nation's about. It's the values of America. But it's also the strength of America. And you have recognized that and devoted your life to that. A patriot. You served in our military, recognizing that we all have responsibilities to defend the democracy of this nation. Putting our life literally on the line. These are values that really embody what makes our country the great nation it is. Civic involvement. Now, Ike went beyond the call of duty when he took on the chair of the Democratic Party. But that's an important assignment because civic involvement is what we need in this nation. We need civility. The Leggetts represent the best in civility with civic engagement. You can be civil and you can be active. And that's exactly what the Leggetts have done throughout their entire career. And then there's good governance. I tell you, it's difficult to accept the responsibility. I know Mark will agree with me this. County exec is no real easy job here. And Ike's career in the council and county exec was modeled for what we would like to see in good governance, which is so critically important in our community. So I want to be here from a personal point of view to thank you. But also tell you, a science and math building is important. Very important, Dr. Williams. But the name on that is equally important. Because we know that the students here will have the opportunity to take science and math and deal with the challenges we have in this world. We've got to deal with AI, got to figure out what the guardrails there to be, how we can use it responsibly. They'll learn those skills in this building. We got the Chesapeake Bay. Runa Miller understands that very clearly, what we have to do to protect the bay. It's not easy. You will be preparing leaders to help us preserve our environment. Our healthcare system reaches new challenges every day. It's exciting as to what we can do. And in this building, you will be training people that will help us deal with those challenges. But I hope every day they'll look at the name on the building and recognize it's more than just the subjects they're learning, but the ethics and values that we implant in how they conduct their life. Because yes, AI can be misused. There are conflicting issues with the Chesapeake Bay. We have outstanding health care, but it's not available to all. These are values that we hope will be embedded through the reminder of the Leggett name that's on that building. So Catherine and Ike, I just want you to know, one of my great treasures of my years in public office is meeting people that I deeply respect and have changed my life. And the two of you have done that. And from a personal point of view, Myrna and I say thank you.
Thank you, Senator Cardin, and thank you for your many years of service to Maryland and your commitment to Montgomery College and all of Maryland's community colleges. We now have a video message from United States Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Hi, I'm Chris Van Hollen, and I'm proud to represent our great state of Maryland in the United States Senate. I'm sorry that votes in the Senate today prevent me from joining you in person, but I'm honored to send this message in celebration of the new Catherine and Isiah Leggett Math and Science Building at Montgomery College. This building will open new worlds of opportunity for the students who come through its doors, and I cannot think of two people who better embody that spirit of hope, of learning, and of opportunity than Catherine and Ike Leggett. Throughout his years of public service, including his tenure as county executive, Ike Leggett has been an inclusive and principled leader who delivers important results for our entire community, lifting everybody up and leaving no one behind. Catherine Leggett shared that ethic and has been a trailblazer in her own right, with a long record of advancing the common good in our community. Together, the Leggetts have been an unstoppable force for progress in Montgomery County, working to strengthen our communities in ways far too numerous for me to mention in this short message. And throughout those years, I've been honored to partner with them in common purpose, and my wife Catherine and I are proud to call them dear friends. In the years to come, I know that the Leggett Building will welcome, support, and inspire thousands of students. Its completion marks a major milestone in the ongoing story of Montgomery College, one that demonstrates your commitment to your students and will further enhance your sterling reputation in Maryland and around the country. I am always inspired to provide federal support to Montgomery College because you do something so essential. You provide a first-rate, affordable education to every resident in our diverse and dynamic county who want to work hard, expand their horizons, and embark on a path to success. The Montgomery College family recognizes that our region's diversity is one of our greatest strengths, and you fight to ensure that every student can secure a high-quality education, regardless of their background, income, or zip code. In the first few weeks of this new semester, I know that your students and faculty have already begun to enjoy the many benefits the Leggett Building has to offer. Students are congregating in the study spaces, getting their hands dirty in all 20 of the new laboratories, sitting in the planetarium to explore the vastness and wonder of outer space, and visiting the greenhouse to discover the tiny intricacies of plant life. In the decades to come, this new facility will help thousands of young people and others secure good-paying jobs and contribute to our county, our state, and our country in many different ways. The students who pass through these doors will help chart the future of healthcare and the frontiers of cyberspace. They will become the engineers who will build the infrastructure of the 21st century and the teachers who will prepare future generations for the 22nd century. No matter their chosen field of endeavor, the Leggett Building will be a space that stimulates their curiosity, nurtures their creativity, all while turning their ambitions into reality. But of course, Montgomery College is much more than its buildings, and the buildings are much more than the structures themselves. They are the homes away from home for the faculty who do the teaching and for the students who do the learning. Our future success as a society depends on our ability to unleash the potential of every student who comes onto campus. And that requires that we tap into the collective power of all of you, the students, the faculty, the staff, and the wider campus community who bring the buildings to life and help every individual student learn and grow. So I'll end in the spirit that I began, saluting Montgomery College for opening new horizons of opportunity for individuals from all backgrounds and walks of life, and smiling as I think about how students who emerge from learning in the Leggett building will carry with them the hopes and dreams that Ike and Catherine Leggett have for the future of our community, our state, and our country. Congratulations.
Ashima Talwar from Senator Van Hollen's office is here. Please thank the senator for his wonderful sentiments. Let me also recognize Kathleen Connor, who is here on behalf of Congressman Raskin. I will also take this moment to acknowledge some of our elected officials with us. Shebra Evans, Montgomery County Board of Education. Shanna Fulcher, Tacoma Park City Council. Terry Siemens, Tacoma Park City Council. And Maxwell Wee, Montgomery County Sheriff. Our next speaker is County Executive Mark Ellerich.
Thank you. So I'm really happy to be here for Montgomery College and for opening this facility, and for Ike and Catherine, for whom this facility is being named. I've known you a long time. I supported you in your first race for council. And I recognized then the qualities you had and the reason why you belonged in that position, and I recognized why you should be executive. And I think you did an amazing job. And that's a couple of things that I remember most was, first of all, when I got on the council and I wanted to have a renter advisory, get a study done on renting in Montgomery County. And I came to you and I said, can we do this? And you said yes. And out of that came some of the first pro-tenant, tenant protection legislation that the county had. And it was a big deal to be able to do that. I also remember the shock to the system you delivered when you told us when you were going to do the rec centers, that the money was going into the neglected black rec centers in this county that had been allowed to deteriorate and rot, while we built fancy new rec centers with everything that was the nicest stuff in the world someplace else in the county. And you said that was going to stop. And you put your money where your mouth was. The council recognized that was the prudent thing to do. And your investments, have changed lives, much like this building. Those facilities and those neighborhoods make a big difference to the children and the families that use those facilities. Those were courageous decisions. They're outside the normal box. Telling people we weren't going to do things as we always had comes a little bit of a shock to people sometimes, but you did the right thing, and I've always thought you were willing to stand up. When I was a civic activist, you were one of the offices we went to in the hope that we get a fair hearing and an interest from you in the work that the citizens were concerned with, which is why you won the elections you won, because people trusted you. So there's a lot to unpack there, but I would just want you to know your legacy here isn't just a building, but it's everybody who's going to get an education out of this building. And that, to me, is really important. And Catherine, you're always out there supporting the arts and the nonprofits. You've been a tireless voice for it. You put an amazing amount of energy, considering you were maintaining a full-time job through all of that. I always wondered how you managed to do that. But I appreciated the work you did. It was really important, and I appreciated the work we did, particularly on the Strathmore, in resolving the problem with the Strathmore that could have led to a real problem, and it wound up not ending up in a problem. And without your help, I don't think we would have gotten there. So I want to let you know how important I think that is. This building's a testament to what happens when a community comes together. And you talked about working with the community. I had the fun task of trying to move the community to a place where they were comfortable. And I had a fun task getting the college to slow down enough to think about what's this thing look like, because it actually matters what you do. Building a building is great, but if you can get a win out of a negotiation, it's much better than getting a win out of a war. War is very bad in general, whether it's at a civic level or whether it's at a national level. and getting to a place where everybody walks away from it and feels like this is a good thing and understands what value it's going to bring to this community. And I understand, it's understood from day one what you were trying to do here. I've been in that facility more than once. It was not the kind of facility that you would want to bring people to. You've remarkably changed it. I had a short tour before this started, and it's just so proud of the work you've done to put this together. And I want to emphasize the importance of this facility. I've been in 2 major biotech meetings this week, and the topic there, as far as Montgomery County goes, is talent and training. Talent and training. And that's a deficit here. And we need to have the bodies to fill the positions that the companies we're trying to bring here are going to want to fill. This facility is going to help us fill those positions. It's also part of an ecosystem. It's not just this facility, but it's USG. And then it's IHC. And thank you, Dr. Perman. Without your leadership and understanding the importance of that, and I think in my mind, helping pivot the university to understand it's not just an academic and research institution, but you are also an economic driver in this state, was a really critical thing. The IHC is a place that these kids could easily wind up in. And that's what we're hoping for, to have a pipeline from a community college to a university institute that can train the leaders, train the scientists, the doctors, the AI people. We just had a big meeting on AI in our offices this morning that was amazing. It is the kind of place that I think we're going to be really, not only really proud of, but it's going to make a difference in people's lives. And I know, Dr. Williams, you've taken this job on seriously. I think you've, Darian Pollard, thank you for everything. Is she still here? There you are. Everything you've done and led us to this point, and you've continued that work with an enthusiasm, which is, hard not to notice. You are a wonderful cheerleader for what we've been able to do here. So I think, closing, this is really fitting that the state-of-the-art Math and Science Center bears the name of Ike and Catherine Leggett. It is the right thing to do. It's a facility that will probably have more impact in a lot of ways on the lives of people in this county and in the lives of the economy, or the life of the economy in this county. It is going to make a difference. It's the kind of thing we've been looking for. Thank you so much for everything you did to get us here. You certainly helped make this possible, and all the leadership of the college who worked at this and made sure we brought it to fruition, and the council and the other leadership that it took to make this project get funded and become a reality. So thank everybody who made this happen. You will be proud of it, and people will remember what we did here. And I will always be grateful for what you did to get us here. Thank you.
Thank you, County Executive Elrich. Before we continue with our speakers, let me thank the following current and former elected officials with us today. Delegate Greg Wilms, Delegate Teresa Warman, Delegate Lily Chi, Senator Cheryl Kagan, Delegate Gabe Acevero, Connie Morella, former Congresswoman and one-time member of the MC faculty, and former Montgomery County Council member Hans Raymer, also our neighbor just across the street, and Mike Knapp, also former member of the MC Board of Trustees. Now, please help me welcome to the podium the members of the Montgomery County delegation who sit on key fiscal committees, Senator Craig Zucker, along with delegates Emily Shetty and Jared Solomon.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Senator Craig Zucker, and I'm privileged to be here. Dr. Williams, congratulations. My understanding is that they're giving each one of us a minute for all the money we brought back. So we each get 50 minutes.
But he gets more because he's in the Senate.
No. But in truth, it's interesting. As I was listening to the Chancellor and the Lieutenant Governor, and Lieutenant Governor and I were on the ground helping to work hard to get money for Montgomery College. But I was thinking about what the Chancellor said and the Lieutenant Governor said in terms of The Leggets, both the Leggets have been a mentor. They've been a friend. And all the Leggets, so Yamina, Alex, Isiah, Yamira, they're all my constituents, so they're all my bosses. But look, this building is a testament to the students and the faculty that they can have a world-class place where they can receive a quality education and advance the sciences. But what I love, and I love the Leggets, what I love about the Leggets is their selfless determination to put forth public service. So when they're in elected office now, they continue to do this in advocacy. They're not doing any of this for the recognition for themselves. They're doing this to try to make a difference. And that is the key to public service. And that's some of the lessons that I've learned from the Leggett. So when I think about the students that are going to be educated in this classroom, generations of students, some my age, some older than I am, and certainly younger, they will be there to carry on the legacy of the Leggets. I couldn't think of a better name for the building. And they'll continue to do good. They'll continue to do good in what I call the Leggett way. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's an incredible privilege to be here with Craig and with so many of you. We in the legislature currently stand really on the shoulder of giants. None of what happened here would have been possible without so many of our predecessors and such a team effort, not only from the Montgomery County delegation, but from our federal partners and our higher ed partners. And Chancellor Perman, you buried the lead. I was so excited to see the partnership with UMGC that was announced yesterday. The amount of work that the Leggets, that Dr. Pollard, that Dr. Williams at the USM have done to connect, transfer. You talked about this being a partner institution, and that's so true. We have to think of this as an ecosystem, and it's been an incredible honor to be able to partner with so many of you on that work. A building, we've probably all heard this before, a building is really only as good as its foundation. And to me, the foundation of this building is not what's in the ground, it's the people here. It's the people in this community that joined arms, that came together to make this possible. And as a former teacher, we know that particularly an education building is really only good as the educators and the staff that fill it. And to me, I just want to say thank you to all of the MC staff and educators who are here, who are going to be filling this building and then are going to be filling the minds of the incredible students who are going to be here. This building sends a signal to folks, right? That we are a world-class institution, that they will have world-class opportunities, that they will do world-class things while they're here and when they leave. And as Craig said, and so many other folks have said, there is nothing that I think of more synonymous with Catherine and Ike than education and opportunity. And so it's just incredibly fitting that this building is named after you. So thank you, and thank you all.
Thank you all for your meaningful remarks. Our next group of speakers represent the Montgomery County Council. Council President Andrew Friedson, Council Vice President Kate Stewart, Chair of the Education and Culture Committee Will Juando, and joined by Council members Gabe Albornoz, Evan Glass, Sydney Katz, Lori Ann Sales, Natalie Fanny Gonzalez, and Kristen Mink.
Good afternoon, and it is a good afternoon. By the way, I'm Andrew Friedson. I have the privilege and honor of serving as the president of the Montgomery County Council. As you can see, I brought a quorum with me here today. We're not all here to speak, but we wanted to have a quorum because there is no person who's ever counted votes at the Montgomery County Council quite like Ike Leggett did. So he knows that it takes a quorum to get anything done, and truthfully, it takes a consensus to get anything done. A consensus is how this building was built, a collaboration between federal, state, and community partners, and no two people represent consensus building, represent community, represent servant leadership more than Catherine and Ike Leggett do. So we are all here on behalf of the entire county council to reflect that. Really honored to be here with Kristen Mink, with the chair of the Education Committee, Will Juando, who you'll hear from in a moment, Vice President Kate Stewart, who represents this district, you'll hear from in a moment, as well as Gabe Albornoz, Lori Ann Sales, Evan Glass, and Sydney Katz. There's something about the Leggets that is magical. And I know everybody in this room feels that way, but when you
speak to them, you feel better. When you heed their advice, you are better. And it is my hope, it is my expectation, I think it's all of our hopes and all of our expectations, that every single one of the thousands of students over the next several decades who walk through that building get just a taste, just a glimpse of the magic that each of us who are here today have benefited from in this county over the last several decades. Ike and Catherine Leggett have done more for our community than any other couple than I think any of us can think of. It really is a remarkable thing, and Montgomery College is the perfect embodiment of their commitment to opportunity and to access, to education as a way to lift up people and communities, and to the fact that Montgomery College is truly the engine of access and opportunity and empowerment. And Ike and Catherine Leggett have truly been engineers of opportunity and of access and of empowerment. So thank you for everything that you have done for so many of us in this room. I hope that the students have the type of inspiration when they walk through the beautiful doors of this magnificent building, the type of inspiration that you've given so many of us. I know that you have planted so many seeds, and we know that thanks to so many people who are part of this effort, those seeds will continue to be watered, those flowers will continue to blossom, and the impact of your selfless legacy will carry on for years and decades to come. Thank you to Montgomery College. Thank you to the Leggetts. Thank you to everybody in our community. If just one student of the thousands and thousands of students lives up to the example of Catherine and Ike Leggett, then our investment of public dollars, our investments of private dollars, our commitment to make this project possible will pay back dividends many times over. Thank you so much, and thank you for letting me be part of this.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate Stewart. I'm the Council Vice President, District 4 Rep, and I used to be the mayor here in Tacoma Park. And thank you. I just want to say I am so happy to be here with all of you today. And Catherine and Ike, thank you so much. So much has been said, and we can't say it enough. I think you'll hear it over and over again today. And I think the important part of your name being on this building, and as people have talked about, the values that this building, the foundation it is on, is why it is here and how it got to be here and why it was possible. Because I'm going to turn for a second to Dr. Pollard. Because wow. Grace, persistence, it was remarkable because we did get a lot of feedback, Dr. Williams, from folks, and I'm glad to see so many community members here because it was through the values of equity and community that we continued with the money from the state and the feds and everybody else. But it was about making sure that we have access to the best labs, the best learning environment for our community. And I remember sitting in the Cheesecake Factory talking about making sure we had equity at this part of New Hampshire Avenue and all the way up there. And Montgomery College is living that right now and looking at East County and everything else. And it's also about community. It's about bringing people together and really listening to their concerns and building that trust. And that's what Montgomery College does. You don't look inward, you look outward. And that's what the Leggetts do, and that's what this building is all about. And thank you for allowing me to be here today and to play a very, very small part in this building. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm Will Jawando, Chair of the Education Committee. We got the quorum, as was mentioned. We're all very supportive. We would vote for it again and if we had to. To Catherine and Ike, just thank you for your legacy. I'm going to tell an Ike story and a Catherine story because I got to, and I'm here. Ike got elected to be county executive in 2006. I was just working for a senator with a funny name named Barack Obama in 2006, and who had just gotten elected the year before, and I wanted to be involved in my home county, and I got a meeting with Ike Leggett in the county executive office, and he shared with me a speech that he wrote when he was inaugurated as county executive. He said, "Look, I want you to get this in front of Barack Obama." I said, "Yes, sir, whatever you need me to do, happy to do it." And he said, because I see a lot of similarities in my story from coming from a dirt floor in Louisiana to being the first African American elected to anything in this county, the first person of color elected countywide, first county executive, all the many things you've done. And I did share that speech with him. I want you to know that. I don't know if I ever told you. I did do it. And then you put me on my first role in any county, anything. You put me on the Commission on Children, Youth, and Families. And you said, I think this would be a good place for you to start because you care about those things. You worked on education. And start by serving on one of these boards and commissions. So I just want to publicly thank you for that. I don't think I've ever have in that way. Catherine Leggett, you are one of my wife's whisperers in her ears right now. They serve on multiple things together, but all you've done for the arts and humanities, all you've done for Montgomery Hospice, where my dad spent his final days as a lifetime board member. Thank you for that recommendation. All you've done to pour into the young people in this community, to fight for people as an employment lawyer. You guys have served your whole life, this community, and outside of it. And everyone in this room could tell a connection story to you. And that just shows the level of deep connection. And you never asked for credit, you didn't ask for anything back, you didn't want a favor, but you did it for us. And we say thank you. And you did it for these thousands of students. Last thing I'll say, this is the best community college in the United States of America, Montgomery College. Now, Wallet Hub recently ranked at number 10. They added an extra zero somehow. But just this year, and they got it right, there are 1,000 community colleges in this country. I met Dr. Pollard, who served here for 10 years, which is like 6-7 times the normal college presidency, because she helped make it one of the best in the country. I met her at a conference where I was working at the White House, where my job was to work with all the community colleges in the country, and I can tell you that this is one of the best. This investment, this is a state-of-the-art facility that will help students for generations to come, replacing a facility that was very beat up and wasn't worth the value of the students. I think it was Senator Cardin who talked about, and the Chancellor talked about the value of this building and what it looks like and when kids come in. And I just want to say thank you, Dr. Pollard, again. We can't do it enough. Thank you, Dr. Williams. Thank you to the board for all your investment, and all of my state and federal colleagues. This is going to help so many students. And thank you, Ike and Catherine Leggett, for your service and dedication to this county. Thank you.
Just want to mention, we have a proclamation on behalf of the county council that we're going to present. We're not going to read it in the interest of time, but know how much we all are here as a county council to support you, to support this effort, and to be part of this very special occasion.
Thank you.
Thank you, council members. I would like to now invite to the podium representatives of the Legislative District 20, Delegates Lori Charkoudian, David Moon, and Janelle Wilkins.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. I am Delegate Janelle Wilkins. I am proud to serve with this dynamic team, Delegate David Moon, Delegate Lori Charkoudian, and Senator Will Smith. It is such an amazing, exciting day. I will never forget when I joined the legislature in 2017. One of the first groups to reach out to me and invite me on over was Montgomery College to talk about their vision for this building, and more importantly, the funds necessary to help make it happen. So this building has, I see Dr. Pollard, she remembers. This building has truly been a part of my entire legislative career, and we have fought so hard with our county council colleagues, with our fiscal leaders in the House and the Senate to help bring this to fruition. We are so proud to stand with you on this day. I think that there's a lot to be said, but here's what I think is most important, is that our students here at MC deserve the absolute best. The best services, the best technology as we build the future leaders of this state and our global leaders that we will send out into the world. And just a quick note to Ike and Catherine Leggett, the same way that we're building leaders here at this new building is how they have built and poured into so many of us who are up here on this stage speaking today. And so we thank you, we love you, we celebrate you as well. Thank you so much.
Hi everybody, Delegate David Moon. In the interest of time, I'm going to be very brief, like Janelle, and just bring us home here, why we're here. She started us off on this path, but what I want to highlight is it's not just the best buildings, it's to give public school students in Montgomery College and in Montgomery County the same quality buildings as private school students. That's fundamentally what we're talking about, and that is a perfect legacy for the Leggets. So thank you and congratulations, everybody.
Good afternoon. I'm Delegate Lori Charkoudian, and it is an absolute thrill to be here and to celebrate this for all the reasons that have been said, which I won't repeat, but I want to share just a personal piece of this. That road right there is one of my running routes. And so for the last 10, 15 years, I have run by this spot. And, you know, I saw what was here before, and then I saw teardowns, and then I saw big empty lots, and then I saw progress, and then I saw slowdown, and then I saw... So to watch over the last few years as this extraordinary vision really came together was just really inspiring. And for me, what I wanted to say today is that in a lot of ways, it's hard to see that. You know, when you run by and it's the old version, it's hard to see what's coming. When you run by and it's an empty lot, it's hard to see what's coming. And so I feel like it's representative, Ike and Catherine, of the vision that you have that often other people can't see. People running by can't see, can only see pieces of, can only see the beginnings of. And you have that vision, and you've had that for our community, and you've built it along with all of the people in this room and so many more. And so we're grateful for that and honored to have your name on this really important education building in our district. So thank you for that, and thanks to everybody who's here.
Thank you, delegates. Our next speaker is the Mayor of Tacoma Park, Talisha Searcy.
Good evening. Well, it's not evening. I feel like I've been sitting here long enough. It's the nighttime, right? Good afternoon, should I say. I am so excited to have the opportunity to just be before you. You know, you don't have to necessarily touch people to change their lives. When I first moved to Montgomery County as a recent college grad in public health, I was intern. I followed what Isiah Leggett was doing in Montgomery County Council, just to learn, you know. And I think one thing that's really powerful is you don't have to actually speak to someone or touch someone directly to transform their lives. And so I want to say thank you, Catherine, for serving as a model for people like me who are still trying to figure it out at the time, who ultimately becomes, you know, first Black elected mayor of the city of Tacoma Park. So thank you. And so my expectation is that what you have done for me, you will do for so many other students who go into your building and may not immediately know, but they look you up and they see all of the good works that you've done, your public servant's heart, and they in turn impact change in our communities. So thank you for that. I also just want to give a special shout out. Former Mayor Kate Stewart, thank you. Because a lot of that feedback happened during your term. So I have the pleasure of cutting the ribbon. But I'd also want to give a special thank you to Dr. Pollard, Dr. Williams, all of the Montgomery College staff.
Tacoma Park is a special place. And it takes special people to be able to engage our community in an effective way that leads to change. And you all have been able to master that in a way that I use you as the model. You want to build something in Tacoma Park, you need to talk to Montgomery College. They figured it out. So I want to thank every single person that touched a resident, answered a question, facilitated a meeting. Link, I see Mike back there, Michael back there. Yes, thank you. We know you. Facilitating all of the different levels of community engagement that it took to help realize the vision that we're celebrating today. And then I want to thank our city staff that has also been committed to this project. You know, the city of Tacoma Park is built on building a community of belonging. We want to make sure that everyone that enters into our city feels welcomed and embraced and has access to all of the things that they need. And you don't have to own a house here to feel that way. We want to make sure that all of your students, when they are here and when they're in the city, that they feel welcomed and embraced. And the only way that can continue to happen is through our continued partnership. So this is the first thing, right? But I don't want this to be the last. And I want us to continue to build these partnerships to create these opportunities for the students who are the future of Tacoma Park and the rest of the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you for all your remarks. We are deeply grateful for your commitment to Montgomery College and the students we serve. As we near the conclusion of our program, let me acknowledge Smith Group, who designed the building, Barton Marlowe, who constructed the building, and Link Strategic Partners, who helped with our community engagement efforts. And now we will hear from one of our STEM students, Grace Kigo, who is majoring in biology.
Good afternoon, everyone. As a Montgomery College student studying biology, I feel privileged to stand here and celebrate this extraordinary new building with you. This facility will open doors for all students, just as Montgomery College has opened doors for my family and me. I was born in Maryland, but as a young girl, we moved back to Kenya. There, I had firsthand witnessing to the healthcare disparities that impact people, and I set my life goal to pursue a medical career. My dream was recently solidified this summer when I lost my mother to hypertensive heart failure. I now aspire to be a cardiologist. Montgomery College has had a profound impact on my life. As a STEM scholar, I conduct meaningful research that strengthens my skills. The opportunities found here align with my passions. For example, my research on hypertension in African American populations enabled me to take a deeper look into healthcare disparities that are ailing people. Currently, I'm taking classes in the Leggett building. In fact, I was there until 1:40 p.m. today. One of the classes I'm taking is a scientific research course where we're working on a project that explores the genetics of mitochondrial functioning in the aging process. In this building, students like me can now conduct innovative, hands-on research even further by interweaving aspects like microscopy, biochemistry, and molecular techniques. The modern labs give us access to invaluable hands-on experience we need to prepare us for our future careers. MC has given me a strong foundation to prepare and to transfer and eventually join medical school. Now, with the Leggett building, I am well on my way to achieving my goals. So today, I say to my fellow students, this building is for us. We can explore our passions, push ourselves to new heights, and prepare for the challenges of tomorrow. Let's make the most of it. And to Montgomery College and to all who've invested in making this building a reality, thank you so much. You have not just given us a place to learn. The Leggett building is a place to dream, to innovate, and to create a better future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kigo, and all of our speakers today. Before we move over to officially cut the ribbon, will Dr. Williams, Trustee Aparicio Blackwell, and Mr. and Mrs. Leggett join us at the podium?
Let me apologize for the length of today's program. Let me also acknowledge Dr. Williams, the member of the board, all of the elected officials, and many people that I've engaged with over the years. Catherine and I are really humbled by this recognition. Let me tell you about why the work that you at least attributed to me is a reflection of a collective. All the members that I serve on the county council, members of the General Assembly, all of the member board members, and so many others. I had a terrific team. And I want to take an opportunity to acknowledge, because you seldom hear from the people behind the scene that worked with me over the years. I had a terrific chief administrative officer by the name of Tim Feinstein. And let me acknowledge Tim for all of his work. I said many years ago that one of the keys to leadership is to hire the right people and listen to them. Let me tell you, I listened to Tim. Let me acknowledge Senator Cardin, Mark Eldridge, and so many others, because this is a collective effort. You do not build a building like this overnight. And Dr. Williams, as you know, it transforms over a number of administrations. But when it started, a dear friend, an outstanding leader, Dr. Pollard, had this vision to move this forward. And you know, the leadership over this goes across different administrations. It's like a relay race. You pass the baton on to the next set of leaders. But that's not as easy as you think in a relay. All you have to do is look at the U.S. Olympic team in the 440 relay. We've dropped the baton, we've gotten out of the lane, and that Passover has not been smooth. This Passover was very smooth. Dr. Pollard is an outstanding leader. She's quite shrewd in many ways. She recognized that I would be somewhat reluctant about placing my name on this building. In fact, when she first asked me, I actually said no. She came back a little bit later. She said, "What if I name the building Catherine?" She got to be on there. Now, many of you know that there's another building not too far from here, a senior housing project called the Leggett. I was somewhat reluctant about that as well, and I had hoped that they would get the name appropriate. They named it the Leggett. When I first saw it, I said it should be the Ike. And they said, well, if we think that the Ike, no one would figure that out, no one would recognize what you're talking about. I said, if you put the Ike on that in Montgomery County, everyone would know who you're talking about. Let me again acknowledge our former First Lady. She had that title for a number of years. First Lady is a title that we give people without actually looking at what they actually do. She was just not the First Lady. She was the first volunteer, the first leader, the first giver, and more importantly, she's the first in my heart. She has done so much. Many of the things that you know about, many of the things you don't know about. She's always giving. She's always volunteering. She is so supportive. I looked at the number of contributions, large and small, that we've given over the last 12 or 15 years on the end of the year. And last year, it totaled 215 different organizations. I'll repeat that. 215 different organizations. And we're not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. We've been supportive across the board. We've given. But she is the first giver. I am sometimes the first refuser. Haven't we done enough? We are privileged to be here today, thankful in so many different ways. Appreciative of Dr. Williams and the leadership, the early efforts of Dr. Pollard, the board members. I can remember the push by former council member Mike Knapp and so many others, members of the current council and so many others, members of the General Assembly, your former district member here, Tom Hucker, who was fighting for it. So many fought for this. But there are a few people here on this campus that really transcended the entire process of that relay. Dr. Stewart, Susan Madden. I remember one of the early conversations with Susan when we were looking at this building, and she was talking about what the college had done in Rockville and in Germantown. I said, Susan, I understand all of that. That's Rockville. That's Germantown. This is Tacoma Park. This is different. The people in Tacoma Park take civic activism and they multiply it several times over. I have gone a long ways with Tacoma Park. I remember former Mayor Sam Abbott. Activism on steroids. I said, Susan, the people in Tacoma Park, they had a nuclear-free zone before the United States even had nuclear weapons. They still had a concept of a plan at that point. Dr. Williams, the very smart people who've gone through the educational process understand what I meant when I said the concept of a plan. But let me stop at this point and also acknowledge my family, daughter, Yumina. She's still here. She may have to go to town. Please stand. All of, yeah. Thank you. And now let's turn it over to the person who y'all came here to see. Our former First Lady, our number one First Lady. Look at that name. It says Catherine and Ike Leggett. Catherine Leggett.
Thank you all for coming today. Ike and I are incredibly elated. And when he called out Tim, I want to call out the entire staff that work with Ike. You know how he is. Pragmatic, thoughtful, direct, engaging, objective, caring. Would you please stand? Because all y'all who work with him need to be acknowledged. Come on, come on. Yeah. We are incredibly thankful for the naming. It is incredibly humbling. And as I was sitting there listening to all of the stories and the history and the accolades, I was saying, well, I'm glad they're giving us the flowers now, Ike, when it's not a funeral, it's really an acknowledgement. It was so heartwarming. It was just incredible. Ike and I really try to espouse hard work, a spiritual compass, and education. That is basically our mantra. And we thank God that we are able to actualize that mantra. We can really embody the values of what we were taught when we were little people. And to get a naming of this building that is going to have thousands of students go through it and maybe acknowledge the history that goes along with that name is just heartfelt. I mean, it's really overwhelming. It's humbling. And we are incredibly grateful. We're grateful. Dr. Pollard, thank you. Everyone who helped to bring this building to fruition, thank you, thank you, thankful. We are incredibly grateful. And this is a day that we will remember forever. Thank you.
Thank you.